Hello, welcome everyone to Ephemeral Twitch channel. What? Sorry, there was audio coming in from the stream, but now it's stopped. Thank you very much for coming and joining today. We have many exciting things to talk about. First of all, this is my amazing organization team for Aretuza. Ephemeral is conformed of many people that makes the magic happen, and we would love to have them all of them here today, but it would be very complicated to manage. So yeah, we have the core organization who is now focusing on making Aretuza International a reality. With me, we have Angela. She is in charge of managing NPCs, logistics, and many other things. She has a vibe that doesn't. She is not afraid to use to make sure things happen. We have also Isaera that is in charge of scenography, props, and documentation that needs to be created especially to feel more immersed in the Witcher world. We also have Jose, who is in charge of checking storyline, narrative, character sheets, in-game texts, and so on. And we also have Andrea, that she's also in charge of logistics, managing all the Excels about sleeping arrangements, forms, the Atari needs, everything behind the curtains. But she will join us in half an hour. She's still at her other job. So meanwhile, we can see the amazing Aretuza emblem that actually Isaira designed for us. And I am Ari, the, let's say, creative director of Aretuza somehow. I don't know. Someone that has a vision here and ask these wonderful people to make a dream come true. Of course, there is, as I said before, many amazing people behind Aretuza making it happen. NPCs, photographers, videographers, SFX crew, and our amazing community that believed in this project for 5 years already. And without them, wouldn't be possible. Today, we had an amazing announcement that we can finally make publicly. That is Ephemeral and CD PROJEKT RED signed a partnership to make our events and immersive experiences official in Spain. So thank you very much, everyone that has made this possible. We started with a small themed dinner of The Witcher, and we have been creating LARPs since 2020, yeah? So for 5 years, until we reach our big project that is Aretuza, our 4-day LARP in a castle where we pretend to be the most powerful mages of the continent. So this wouldn't be possible without my amazing team. Of course, our amazing community that support us for years, but as well for people that believed in this project when we were very small, starting by CD PROJEKT RED, but as well Olo Cubierta Ediciones, El Marqués Larp Shop, and many collaborators, sponsors that we had. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. And of course, life changes. And many people was here in the beginning, and now they have other things in life to do. But we also want to thank them for believing in this and making sure that our first steps, well, they were here with us, even if our paths now have to go in different ways. We hope that we can meet on the path on the future. Who knows? But anyway, we have a special video to celebrate this. And thank you very much again. I hope you enjoy it. All right. Well, let's talk about Aretuza now. That is what we are here, right? To unveil what is our new international Larp event, actually a saga or campaign, because on January we will experience the first episode of Money to Come. This means that the character you will portray in Aretuza will be able to grow and evolve in different episodes, and just like a book saga, right, or our favorite video games, it's a bit of the same. Let's discover what it's about. This is the game guide. You have it available on the website, but I'm sure my colleagues will show it, paste it in the chat in a moment for you to check it. It's very important for you to read it to understand the experience and what you will encounter before you sign up, because it's important that you are aware of what you will find and if it's for you or not, right? As we said, we are planning several episodes on different themes on the Witcher world inside the Aretuza universe. And this first episode, though, it's a prologue or it's a standalone episode, some kind of a starting point of Aretuza, right? After that, this is episode zero actually, and we will then start with the first saga, that it's episode 1, 2, 3, and so on. This first episode, I'm gonna scroll a bit before we talk about other things. Here, this first episode, or episode 0, explores the creation of the chapter of sorcerers in the continent, in the Northern Realms, and the foundation of the first official magical schools of the chapter. The premise of the event is that they go to Thanet Island, to the castle to the palace of Garstang, to start this new school, Aretuza. For this lab, there is no segregation between genders. You know that in the official lore, there is Aretuza for female mages, for sorceresses, and then we have Banal for male mages, right, for sorcerers. In this first episode, the chapter brings everyone together at Aretuza. It's an abandoned castle or palace that has still some stories to tell that were buried beneath some legends, and no one really knows what actually is true and what not. The adepts, of course, will need to confront not just their first magical lessons, but of course what is going on in this place. And this one wouldn't be The Witcher if there wasn't politics involved, right? So of course, it's important to fix whatever is happening before the monarchs of the northern realms and other kingdoms in the continent arrive on the last day, because we are doing the inauguration or the opening ball of Aretuza. We invited them because we want to impress them and invest in this project we are doing and in our mage guild. So if the castle is a mess, we need to do something. So this is the starting point of the event. Adepts will arrive in a castle that is kind of in ruins, and they will need to survive to it and create, of course, new relationships, go to their magical lessons, and not just magical lessons, because as we said, this is also a political LARP, and it's a very a LARP that really wants to get into the themes of The Witcher, and social issues, political issues are very present in the continent, and mages are always involved in politics. Um, they will do also other kind of lessons, so our students can impress the monarchs and politicians of the continent. So now that we introduced how we start, right, let's talk about the experience. So I'm going up again. If you have questions, by the way, at any point, don't hesitate to do it on the chat. My friends will just read them and stop me if it's relevant now, or keep it for later uh, if we will talk about this topic after. You have here, as I said in the game guide, many useful information to find out if the LARP is for you or not. It's very open to first-time LARPers. We had 65% of first-time LARPers in the 2 Spanish editions that we already organized in November of last year. And it was a blast. Most of them are very invested and want to come back. And they had a great experience because it's designed to be welcoming for everyone. But luckily, we have an amazing community of experienced LARPers that are NPCs, players that uh, they enjoy introducing new people to the hobby. So please don't be afraid to join, even if it's your first time. You will feel like at home, we promise. So, but it's important that you read what is experience, right? We have the event themes, what is the LARP about, sensitive topics that might arise, sensitive topics that are excluded of it. You can also here have the playstyle of the LARP and how much, if you are an experienced LARPer, you already know what style of LARP works for you, so you here can get an idea of what is our organizing style for Aretuza. But the important is what is Aretuza about. Welcome to the School of Magic. Aretuza is a magical school above all. So you are an adept. You cannot play anything else than adepts that want to discover if you have the gift and if you can become a mage. In this regard, it has a bit of a slice of life in a magical school, attending lessons, attending maybe societies like clubs, right? Like you can go to the opening ball at the end. You will have a group you will bond with them, and in the future episodes you will be able to pick your path, right? A specialization for your studies. I will talk about that in a moment. But this is important because, of course, this is The Witcher, and magical and supernatural things will happen. We will touch harsh topics like destiny, what is evil, the consequences of choices, and so on. But this is a magical school. You need to be sure that you enjoy this kind of topic to be part of the LARP. All characters will be adults for legal and safety reasons. We will play pretend about what happens with people that discovered their gift when they were kids. Some people that some players get character sheets where that's explained of what happened and where they lived or how they were trained. But the story will be that everyone will start a bit on the same, even if you already have been in another school before or whatsoever. The chapter is doing, let's say, some kind of official education for magic, and this is new for everyone, right? Like if it was what is the word for it? When the government, um, regulate, yeah, like regulating right education and what is the content of those lessons and so on. That's what the chapter is doing now. So this way we can have different backgrounds for characters, but everyone starts in the same, and it's all right. And everyone will be adults because we want to touch adult topics, and we think that including characters that would be underage doesn't allow us to explore what we want with safety and the emotional maturity that we think we need. Great power implies great responsibility. As we said, this is also a political LARP. Chaos is not just magic, it's also power, and it can change many things like war. So of course now the chapter is starting and they are inviting the monarchs to discover their project. But as long as this saga or this campaign evolves, these relationships with the political um, um, state, I don't know, the political groups of the continent. It's not just kings and queens and monarchs, it's also religion groups or merchant guilds whatsoever. These relationships will tighten and have consequences as well for Aretuza. And this is important that we keep it in mind, because if we have kings invited to Aretuza and a student decides to kill them, it's devastating for everyone, right? Fate is written and you will walk the path to it. This is very important. Aretuza, it's what we call semi-sandbox. For people that is unfamiliar with this word, sandbox, it's when you have an open world when you can explore and create whatever you want. We use it on LARP for LARPs that allow you to create your character and your factions and your quest. Everything is open. Aretuza is half sandbox. This means that we give you a character sheet written because we want them to be true to the lore, and we will explain more about how the character sheets are in a moment as well. But then you have room to create your relationships, make your character evolve, get involved in different paths, influence the story. Anyway, it's a LARP of 80 players and 30 NPCs. This means that to make a story satisfactory for everyone, that it's just not we don't have to improvise things to end the LARP and whatsoever. Aretuza has an overarching plot. This plot, you need to accept that you cannot directly influence some parts of it. You can, sorry, all of it, you can influence some parts of it and consequences of it, of course, because it's The Witcher and we play with consequences. But there are some things that still will happen to make the story cohesive and make sense and satisfactory for everyone. Believe us, we have Aretuza players here, and they can tell you that they always felt they had the choice, even if we have this overarching story going on that keeps unfolding. We don't like to force things that make no sense, and so on. But this is a design decision that we made, and it worked. So please, if you join this LARP, you need to understand that this is an important part of the design to make it work. And for example, there are things that we are working, I haven't said, but we are about 200 or 300 years before Geralt of Rivia. So this means there are events that will happen, right? Like Elven Wars or other wars. There are many events that will happen while we are playing this campaign, and we cannot stop them, even if our characters would like them to not happen, right? But it's how the canon is written. So we will all play pretend that it was unavoidable anyway. In any case, even if there are mysteries to discover and there will be 10 situations where we suffer, this is not the end of the world. Aretuza is, it should be a kind of relaxed experience, except for some moments that we raise the tension. But this is not the end of the world. It's not about killing the big bad boss so we can save the world with the power of friendship. It's a LARP where, yeah, we unveil things that happened or will happen. But overall, at the end, we will have a ball and we will dance, right? And in the past, you're not alone. Aretuza needs collaboration to happen. Even rivalities make sense. Classism between noble people and uh, what is the word for plebe?
Peasant.
And peasants. Yes, thank you, Angela. Right, rivalry between noble people and peasants, or between humans and elves. All these things are present because these are topics on the Witcher that we want to explore. But overall, at the end, it's about collaborating, right? You are not alone, and you won't be the main character of Aretuza in a LARP of 80 players. And of course, the topics of The Witcher. The Sword of Destiny has to edge, right? We try to talk about Destiny and if and what it means a lot during this first episode 0, and of course about evil is evil, lesser creature middling. Those topics will be very present, but I should spoil you things to give you more about it. But we need to. These are the main topics of the saga, and we want it to be true to it. You have in the game design, as I said, this all this information for you to check if it thinks it will work for you. Is this event for me? This LARP is for you. Yes. This LARP is for you. Not. Right. Please check it. Make sure that the experience will be satisfying for you. We already talked about what it means, what it is, the starting point of the plot for the first for the episode 0. And let's talk a bit about the school. Yes, how it is, what you will experience. As we said, you will attend lessons. In this episode 0, you will be divided by groups, and everyone attends all lessons. Yes, some lessons are about magic. We have alchemy, we have magic foundations, where you learn how to cast spells and you find out if you have the gift, and magic combat, as well as monsters. But we also have etiquette, regular combat, and dancing lessons for the ball. Of course, your character can decide not to go to a lesson that you are not interested about. There are consequences, right? Because this is a school. Still, we try to treat you as adults because we said we want this LARP to be for adults, right? For not just players that are adults, but also characters that are adults and responsible of their decisions. And you will always feel like that. You won't feel like a teenager being scolded. It's true that the chapter mages have 100 or more years, so they will still, even if they look young, they will still feel like, yeah, you have 60 years old. I have 300 years. I am 300 years old, right? So keep that in mind. But of course, you can decide not to go to a lesson if you don't want to. Maybe there are consequences, not just that you will be scolded for it, but maybe that lesson was useful for something that you didn't thought about. Because we tried to design the lessons, all of them, even the ones that you don't think it could be useful, to be meaningful for the things that will happen in Aretuza. So even if it's just for because of a plot or a scene, it's always handy, yes, to go to them. And they are not boring about many theory. We explain some bits of lore from time to time for you to catch up on what is going on and how it works, the world, right? But it's mostly practical. Now that I said about the lore, magic, we created our own magic system that goes that is very consistent with the Witcher world. But of course, the authors didn't need a huge extended magic system that connects everything, right? Because when you write a book, you need some bits to make a scene happen or a situation advance. And when you make a video game, you need the mechanics for the video game. And the video games are about witchers, not mages. But we used all of that to create a consistent magical system that it's not just for spells, it's also for rituals, for alchemy, for runes, for divination. Everything is connected, and we want that you use this lore that actually it grows on you. So in future episodes, your characters, maybe they can do studies or writings about things about the world and say, hey, can you publish this on the library of Aretuza? And if we like it, and if the add-ons that you are including on this wall make sense, of course, we want them in the library of Aretuza. We have a library with more than 60 documents. Yeah. So that was a lot of writing, and we can include yours as well. This first episode, we want the ones that you believe in this project and start this to get the foundations on how Aretuza will work in the future. But after this, it will be different. As I said, we will have paths that I will talk about it now. And then you will do only lessons for your paths, and it will be a bit different. Yes? But it's the best design we found to introduce you to Aretuza's universe. So what paths are available for now, unless we decide to change something depending on how things go? We have the diplomacy path. As we said, the chapter wants this to be a political institution that has political power. So of course there is a diplomacy path. It's not just about how to make a bow or how to eat correctly with in a royal table. It's also about things like mind control or poisons, right? Don't underestimate this path just because it seems very political. Evocation path is for those who want to master the chaos control, right? Rituals, divination, creating spells. It's talking to entities. Many things can happen. It's the most complicated to master, of course, because you need to know a lot about all the other disciplines to make this work. But this is here for those, like the ones that study in the university, this kind of careers that require a lot of other extra courses to actually be an expert, right? But this is a vocation. Construction path is for those who want a practical use of magic. Probably the ones that make more money out of it, because they can make potions in many ways, not just poisons, but healing potions or many other uses. They can construct magical items and seals, and you can make a living out of it, right? You can make a shop out of it or whatsoever, or find a use for your business or your village, depending on the character story. The combat part, of course, chaos is power, and where do we want to use power in wars? So there is people who will pay you to fight and pay you to protect them. So there is a combat path that uses not just magic, but also other fighting techniques combined with magic. And the investigation path. The people that is called on the path probably feel interested for this. Ruins, curses, strange things that no one knows what is going on. This is the path for you. By the way, now that we are here, where are the Witchers here? It's explained in this game guide, but I'm gonna just brief you about that. Yeah, there was a project made by the chapter, about some mutants. Some kingdoms were involved, but it was cancelled. That's all we know. So far, Witcher schools are not yet created. There are things happening, rumors of things happening behind the chapter back. But officially, the chapter cancelled the project and Witcher shouldn't be made.
Ari, I'm going to interrupt you for a second because we have a question here in chat. And it's I thought the path started only in episode 1, not the prologue. So yeah, actually the answer is yes. So
Yes.
for the first year, you are going to learn all about the basic things, and then in the first year, the next year, you then will select a path, or you will design a path, and then you will start with specific lessons.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Angela.
Welcome.
Then we have societies. This is for your leisure time to attend. It's not mandatory, but it's also interesting, where you can get to meet other characters. As we said, you are assigned by groups. I will explain what is the criteria for that assignment in a moment. But then the societies, you can get mixed with people of other groups, meet other NPCs that are not teachers, and it's a bit of a slice of life moment to do things that are very more for character development and creating relationships in a quiet ambience. It depends a bit on the society that you pick, but yeah, we have performing arts, fencing and dueling, that it's with swords, classical fencing, the friends of creatures that they want to defend their rights, the hippies, game and dice where they play Went and other tabletop games, the debate society, the elite society where you can only enter if you are invited, the mystery investigation society. They are the ones with the cone hats, finding conspirations around Aretuza. They are all wrong. Don't listen to them. And the artistic expression society, where they pick a theme and create either drawings or plastic, maybe with I don't know what is it, to make figurines, right? They do many artistic pottery. Yes, thank you very much, Jose. And the secret society, that it's one of these, and you don't know which one. And they conspire a bit politically. So the resonance. This is something we created again to make consistent the magical themes of the Witcher, and something like the horoscope. Yeah, it's something like an Witcher horoscope. Yes, if you don't know, in The Witcher there are eight seasons. No, yeah, 8 seasons. No, not 8 seasons. Eight Sabbaths, I'm gonna say. It's here. Uh, yeah, it's what we call Sabbaths, or elves call it Sabbaths. It's the 8 divisions of the year, right? The months. I'm sorry. My
Yeah,
brain just
actually, it's easier.
collapsed for a moment. Yeah, the months of the year. Sorry. So instead of having 12 months, we have 8 months in the Witcher world. And depending on the one you were born, it affects you, your personality, your magical affinity, and other things, right? You know that in The Witcher, when you are born, can mark who you are and how other people perceive you. Think on the curse of the Black Sun, people born on Beatane, etc. So we try to incorporate this in this magical system that it's whole, right? It covers everything, even destiny. So there are 8 on the first episode of Aretuza, you are grouped by your Sabbath or your resonance. You have a post on Instagram and Facebook. You can read more about each one. We have an amazing test keys in the website, and you can make it and see what it could be for you. Yes, and of course it's your character who will decide to fight that destiny or embrace it, or that's one of the topics that we want to touch, right? Like how much we are, our life is predefined for who we are the day we were born and the people we met. I'm gonna go up again. There are more questions, or
We have a couple of questions, but I think that they are better to be response on the end.
all right. So we have the student assembly. One representative of each resonance will go and discuss with a director, that it's Clara Larissa, the problems that they want to bring on the table, right? Like a teacher, there is why there are so many so many. I don't know. I don't want to say anything.
We want potatoes for lunch.
Why so many adepts died last night? This is not the safest place in the world. And the mages will say, well, if you don't like it, you can just go back to the farm. So anyway, your resonance group will be the people you attend your lessons. On future episodes, you will start your path. So people from the second year will go to their path lessons, but during lunch, during dinner and other activities, they will have newcomers that come to their resonance, so they can play like introduce them to everything, right, and make them feel welcome. This way, in future episodes, you actually get to play with more people and intervene with more stories and relationships. This is something that I'm not going to explain now. It will happen if we actually reach to episode 2 and 3, but those who actually complete their path will be able to become a mage in full right, and something cool will happen. Or not. As we said, there is no segregation yet in this episode. It will be in the future, right? We will explain in this episode why the segregation happened. I'm gonna do a short disclaimer here. We will probably change this because in English doesn't make sense anymore. But you need to think that when we were discussing on how to address the gender expression and gender language in the speech for this Larp, Spanish is a very gendered language. It's very difficult to speak in neutral. There is an artificial way created by activist groups for using a neutral variation of Spanish. But not everyone is used to it, and it can be complicated to actually remember and doing it well. It might work for statements or short speeches, but it was complicated to introduce it in this LARP and make sure people uses it, right? So we decided to make another choice. Okay, we know that Aretuza is the most the best magical school in the continent. The best sorceresses come from here. So in Aretuza, we were saying we will use feminine language as the neutral instead of masculine, because Spanish uses masculine as neutral, right? This doesn't make much sense in English when we can use mage, student. Most words can be used without any gender, and probably it's not that relevant in the international editions. Anyway, if you are someone that doesn't identify with she or he, you use they or any other pronouns, it's fine for us. One thing is when we speak in general, right, for the audience, but if you request us to talk to you as they, we will honor that. It's not a problem, right? Then you can choose when we have two schools, Aretuza and Bernard, you can pick the one that you prefer to attend, even if your pronoun or your character pronoun is they. Yes? Of course, you can pick Aretuza because it's better than Bernard, and that could be a logical way to decide. But you can also pick that even if you're using they and you feel that your gender presentation is more masculine, you can still go and decide you are a student of an art, right? We really don't care about this. Don't care in the main that we are not going to force you anything you don't feel comfortable. We are here for you to listen for you on um, your questions, your thoughts, and your struggles with it, and we will find a solution that makes you feel comfortable. Please for us, it's very important that the Larp is inclusive. And remember that the sorceresses were changing their bodies just to be more powerful or more beautiful. So it can also be a theme that your character wants to explore, that they want to change the gender as well. Make it part of the plot if you feel like it, as long as you do it respectfully. So now that I explained this, if you still have questions, please don't hesitate to email us, and we will try to make sure you will feel part of this adventure, just like everyone else. Yeah, I think it was clear, right? So the characters, as we said, are written by us. This is not a complex character sheet with 12 pages of story, with many connections and plots with everyone else. It doesn't make sense in this LARP. It's like going to university for the first time. Maybe you know someone from your city or your high school, but you start anew. You need to meet the teachers, you need to meet your colleagues, and create everything from the start. Every story is written like a short tale. We wanted to honor the author's style um, of writing on the first Witcher books. So all the character sheets are inspired by tales, famous stories, or legends of all the mostly European, but also from other places of the world. To honor this kind of style of Sapkowski and the Witcher video games. Um, so I'm gonna show it now actually. Just give me a moment. I need to change here. All right. This is an example of character sheet. It's not translated fully because we don't want you to we don't want to spoil you. But as you see, all character sheets will start as once upon a time. This specific sheet is inspired by Rapunzel tale, and it also has their social class, noble, the kingdom, Redania, vocational context, spiritual, and race. And then you have here the story. This character sheet has some blanks on it, so you can make the character yours. I'm gonna go back to the game design document. And then create new relationships. You will receive information about things like your kingdom, noble people you should know, or important people you should know. You will also receive information if your character has been before in another school, like Mirce, Lockmuin, Riesberg. You will also receive information about that and people that was there. But everything is done in a short or in a very brief measure to make sure it's not overwhelming and it still gives you room to create. So one of the most important things for your fun in this lab once you receive your character sheet is talk to other people to create new things. Do you think I need to explain something else about character sheets, or can we just...
I think that we can go on.
As we said, just as a reminder, social class, kingdom, race will be topics that will be important. And we expect humans to be racist towards elves. We expect Redania hate Temeria, and Aedirn hate Redania, and everyone hating Nilfgaard. Remember that Nilfgaard here is just a small kingdom in the south that they do siesta and eat paella and just sangria and they fight amongst each other. They are not an empire right now. They will in the future, but we still need to advance 200 years in history, right? So we expect these kind of things. Also, if you have the gift and your resonance, as we said. You can read more about it in the game design document, as we said. About the gift, it will be a bit up to you. In sub characters, it's clearly written that the gift is awakened already, and there were some issues going around, like killing people because of an explosion by mistake or doing tricks. With other characters, it's more subtle. We introduce hints that, hey, this could mean that you have something special, but you don't know. In some characters, there is nothing about it, and it's up to you to decide if you want. Hello, Angela's cat.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. I just love the. It's so. The gift. It will be up to you to represent it. There will be opportunities where you can decide that. Yes. There will be sources. You know, sources means an extremely important power. It doesn't mean elder blood. There will be no elder blood player characters. No white hair players, please. There is just one city and it's not born yet. So it will be up to us to decide who are sources. You cannot decide that. But Aretuza has a magical barrier that controls them. It's not dangerous. And play-wise, it's just something for your story, not makes you different than other players. All right, costumes. What are we gonna do now? I'm gonna do a short pause so I can drink water and so on. I put the trailer, and we will come back and resume with this. Yes, thank you very much who has been watching until now, and see you in at 7. Yeah. All right. See you in 6 minutes. All right, we are back. I had some problems with the trailer. I'm sorry. uh, things of being live and not being so used so much to Twitch. Apologize for that. But you can see the amazing long version of the Aretuza trailer on YouTube. Um, and also you can see the Sao Bean Ball, that it's, as we said, the last part of the event when we actually just simply dance and celebrate we survived Aretuza. You can also see a beautiful 4 minutes video in our YouTube channel if you want to. But let's go back to costumes, yes? Aretuza, we wanted to be an inclusive and accessible experience for new LARPers, first-time LARPers. So we decided that the uniform is included in your ticket. I'll show you pictures in a moment of the uniform. Just now, it's better. As you can see, it consists on a purple tunic and a green sash. And you can customize it depending on your character style, status, origin, story, as you feel that it fits. We only ask you to wear black or white under it, as it's the color that fits better to the design. But we created this uniform. So if you don't want or can't afford a costume for the ball, it also works, right? For us, the uniform was important that could fit any size or any type of body and look well. Not just fit, but look well and amazing and makes you feel like a powerful mage. But of course, the uniform should accompany the dramatism, the drama that entails being a mage, and the passion that moves us, and the relationships we are creating. So as you can see, the uniform is made to be comfortable because it's 100% cotton, but it's stylish. It will fit you well and move dramatically with you as you experience Aretuza. We will let you the uniform without cost with the ticket, but you need to give it back, right? Because these uniforms are very expensive to produce. They were created by Catalan crafts, craftsman, craft, craftsman, yeah, by local artists to say so.
Craftsman,
Yeah,
well,
they
yeah.
were produced here. The fabric was dyed here in Catalonia, and the two ladies that made them, they made them all by themselves. They weren't made in anyone else at Spain. So you can buy it if you want. You will have the chance to buy it on once you pay for your ticket, or even there if you wish to have it at home. But otherwise, you need to give it back to the organization once the Larp is over. All right. I'm gonna go back to the game guide, and we are gonna talk a bit more about costumes.
Ari,
Ari.
sorry. I think we are we have disappeared from
Yes, sorry,
from the
sorry, sorry.
stream.
Apologies. Now it's done.
Chaos Light.
Yeah. Right. So you need to wear the uniform during the lessons. But if you want to wear other outfits outside the lessons, you are free to do so. It's a way to give more personality to your character if they are noble people or peasants or they are elves. Because yes, I think there was a question if there are elf players. For now, yes, maybe in the future will be changing once different political events will happen in the continent. But you can play elves, and then if you play an elf, you need to wear proper ears and characterization. We will ask you about your interest in playing an elf in the sign-up form. Then the ball, the Saobin ball, you can also wear a more fantasy costume. We will send you a game costume guide with references of what is acceptable and what not for this LARP. Because one of the most important things for a LARP to feel immersive is to dress as that setting. If you have played the Witcher video games, it has a very specific aesthetic with vibrant colors and so on. If we just go all dressed as random generic fantasy, we could be in a Witcher magical school or any other place in any other setting, right? So we will send you a game guide on how, a costume guide on how to build your character depending on their social class or the kingdom or all the different aspects. We will recommend materials that are acceptable, patterns, and so on. But we allow a bit of fantasy for the ball because everything was created a bit with magic, right? Something about costumes? No?
Nope.
All right. Where is the LARP happening? We have the ticket prices here. You can see it also in the website. I'm not going to stop here. We have amazing merchandise, as you can see. The Aretuza merchandise allows us to finance solidarity tickets. These tickets are made for students or unemployed people that otherwise couldn't afford the LARP. As we said again, inclusion is very important for us. And even in the Witcher world, we are touching harsh topics and we still want it to be like this. It doesn't mean that our community cannot be welcoming and we care about people, even if then we are playing on harsh topics. So yeah, any contribution towards merchandising will be put on creating solidarity tickets for people that otherwise couldn't be part of this story. You have also what do you need to bring, a rough schedule. It might be adapted while we advance on the organization, but it's pretty similar to the Spanish one, except for we moved a bit the lunch and dinner time because we know that in Spain we eat very late for most of the world. So we are accommodating a bit on that. You have also how to communicate with us and the location. Please, it is important. The first two runs of Aretuza in the Spanish language were held in Tortosa. It's also in Catalonia, it's another castle, but for many reasons that I'm gonna stop to explain now, we had to change the location to a better one, in my opinion. It's Castel de Ciutat in La Seu d'Urgell in the Pyrenees. They didn't have many pictures for us to show you, so we went there to the location to take pictures, and I'm gonna show it to you now, so you can actually see a bit more of the location. It's, if I remember correctly, 12th century old real fortress. Yeah, we are seeing the pictures. So you can see that we have many spaces that are totally immersive and ready to be filled with all our props, attrezzo and scenery things we have to make it part of the Witcher world. And of course, amazing rooms because it's a 4-star hotel. So even if the rooms will be maybe sometimes for 3 people, it will be very comfortable with private bathrooms and amazing views of the Pyrenees, of the Catalan Pyrenees. But yeah, the food will be also, we expect it to be quite good because it's a fancy hotel. And this amazing door will be waiting for you to enter to Aretuza. We will offer a shuttle bus for the players who want to help to reach the location. Either way, you can find your own way to reach the location as you please. But otherwise, we usually make a shuttle bus depart from Barcelona airport, that it's the airport that it's closer to this place. we will give more information in the future about that. You have practical information here that you can read and see other pictures, amazing pictures of the location. Also, we talk about accessibility. It's an old castle, so keep in mind that not everything might be accessible for all potential accessibility issues. If you have questions, again, please, we are here for you. Email us, and we will do our best to see if we can accommodate you, or just be honest with you and say that maybe it's better not to come because you won't be able to enjoy the experience fully.
Ari, I'm going to interrupt you because we have actually two questions.
Mhm.
One of the about the shuttle bus. They are asking if there is a possibility of the shuttle bus to depart from the train station of Barcelona. But we will see in the future.
Yeah, we will see on the future. As actually, the location will offer extra nights at a special price for our players to arrive early and leave later. And as we are still seeing the whereabouts about that, because we need to make sure it doesn't interrupt our assembling and you don't see spoilers while we are assembling the location for you. But that's also another possibility. I imagine some people want to spend some days in Barcelona or around Catalonia, and usually it's more convenient to depart from the train station. We'll see if we can do 2 stops or just one place. We'll see, because this is not like other of our Larps. If you have been in our Larps before, where it was 1 hour trip, it's a bit longer, and with bus it's also longer than car, so we don't want it to be that you arrive very tired because you had to wait in different places in the airport. We'll see.
And also we have we have also another question that it's a bit related with the location. What's the ratio between outdoor and indoor activities to adapt the inner layer costume or to keep warmth? Because January.
50-50, would say.
Yeah, 50-50. In the morning, usually most of the lessons are taught in the insides of the castle. And evening, it's more like outdoors. And night, it depends on your choices. So yeah, but anyway, it's better if you come with a lot of layers. Yeah.
It's Spain, but it's January in the Pyrenees.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
So
cold.
please, this is not going to be sun and paella, believe me.
No.
No.
So probably if you come from a northern realm, from the northern countries of Europe, maybe it will be mild winter for you. But still, probably wool inner layers or cloaks will be handy. Gloves, socks, many socks, just in case it rains or it snows. So yeah, you will have chance to go back to your room and remove layers and put layers back. Don't worry. But wool is your best friend.
Okay, and another question that just arrived. Can the food provided accommodate dietary restrictions like vegetarian diet? Yes.
Yes. And in case we see we cannot accommodate you, we will message you right away to see what we can do. But so far, this is a hotel with a professional kitchen. They guarantee that should be food for everyone. It will be a buffet. So unless something happens, but it should be a buffet, so it should have options for everyone. Yeah. Please don't write this on the sign up form. This is a very delicate information. So please you will have a separate form for that when you pay for your ticket, where you can write dietary needs and other health issues that you want to explain us, so we can keep it in mind.
And that are all the questions for now. We have a few for later. So yeah, we can keep on.
All right. So, well, how to join Aretuza, right? That's what is happening today. We open signups. So, very quickly. Actually, I think we have time to go through the sign up form so people can see it and so on before it's out. Why we don't just do a sale of tickets? Because as we said, we care for things about inclusion and accessibility. And maybe now you are working or in another time zone, or your internet is not good, or there are many reasons why you cannot be here and click and buy the ticket the first. So what we do is what we call a priority window. Everyone that fills up a form to sign up between today and the 21 of May get the same opportunity to get a ticket as long as their form is valid according to our right of admission. That you can see it linked here in the game guide and also in the form. You can also check it to make sure that everything is all right. We do this because we give the chance more people to be part of it without being unfair. Of course, this is more work for us. So please, if you fill this form, it's because you are committed to it. It's very complicated to check. I don't know how many forms we will receive and make a puzzle out of it. In case there are many, many forms and we have to leave many people out, we will consider opening a second run. That probably will be the following week of the one that it's now programmed. It means it will be around the first week of February, also from Friday to Monday. But well, how?
Andrea is here.
Oh, okay, just give me a moment. Tell her to join. Let's see if we can do it without many mess on the stream. All right, can you put your camera on?
Oui.
Right. Just one
Oh.
moment. Yes, Andrea is here. Welcome. We are talking about the sign up form and how it works.
I think in the streaming it's still the logo.
No, but yes. Now we see her. Yes, thank you, Andrea, for joining us. Even if it's for this last part. So, okay, because we all want the sign up forms, I'm gonna go through this quickly. You fill up this sign up form. You explain what you expect from this Larp and so on, and we will do our best to accommodate you. If we can't, as we said, if there's many requests, we will consider opening a second run. If not, you will be in the waiting list in case there are opening spots. Probably some people will drop after. Don't worry too much if you don't get in on the first round, because probably you can get tickets in the future. And it's not personal. It's many people sometimes that want to play LARPs, and we need to make a choice sometimes, and it's complicated. If you have played LARPs with us before, we want to thank you for your support and your commitment to our organization. So if you fill up the sign-up form in the first 3 days, you will get priority to get a ticket. But still, we will reserve at least 30% of the tickets for new players and first-time, not just first-time LARPers, but LARPers that never played with Ephemeral before. Because again, we don't want to be very endogamic. We want to be an open community and welcome new people, either if it's their first LARP or not. So even if we have many signups that come from our players, maybe not all in get on the first round either, because we need to reserve some tickets for new people. Once it finishes this priority period where all forms are the same. All the forms that come in, you can still get in. Sometimes we don't fill all the spots just in this priority window, but then you get the ticket first come, first served basis. Yes, so as long as you fill up the form, you maybe get a ticket or maybe not. The thing is that if it finishes the 21, we expect to send confirmations around the 25, more or less, 25, 26 of May, not earlier than that. We will try to do it as soon as possible, but please, as again, we need to review many forms, see if what the experience you're looking for matches what we can offer to you, and what's on, because what we don't want is people that feels disappointed at this LARP. If you write in the forum, I want to play a Witcher, what we said, there are no Witchers yet, the schools are not formed, the project is cancelled, this is about students in Aretuza. So that could happen that your form is out just because of you didn't understood maybe the experience we are offering, and we don't want to disappoint you. Because for us, your satisfaction is the most important. Then we will offer you to buy a ticket in our platform. You can pay in full or installments. People that pays in full receives a small gift for us, because getting the full ticket at the beginning, the full payment at the beginning, helps a lot with organization and making the LARP happen. When we have at least 70 tickets or 70 players confirmed, we will confirm that the event happens, right? Please don't book flights or hotels or anything extra around Aretuza until we confirm the LARP happens. Of course, we cannot hold this forever. So if I remember correctly, the confirmation of the run happens on June 30. If we don't have enough tickets to make Aretuza International happen in June 30, it will be sadly cancelled and we will give you the money fully to you back. Yes? Once you're registered, you will receive a casting form where you can now explain to us what kind of character do you want to get to play in Aretuza. It's a bit longer form that it needs to take some time, but we will give you also several weeks to fill it up. If you don't fill it, we will just give you any character that is left after we assign the characters. Then you will receive a character concept that is a short summary of the character sheet. This way you can prepare your costumes, get an idea if it works for you or not, start thinking on many things, and so on. And then you will receive the full character sheet at least 4 weeks before the LARP, unless something happens. But hopefully, maybe as they are already fully written and just need to be translated, probably maybe we can have them a bit earlier than that. I do not make promises about that because Aretuza has many pages written as the Hobbit book. So of course, even if we need to translate all of that, and we are only humans. Yeah, so all right, we have some minutes, unless there are questions.
Actually, there is one question about payments. There are going to be any kind of payment plans, apart of paying all that upfront?
You can pay installments, yes. There are days designated for when they need to be paid, because otherwise, if we don't have all the money on a specific dates, we cannot make the LARP happen. So yeah, you will be able to pay with credit card or bank transfer, but any fees associated to bank transfers, it needs to be paid by you. We won't consider you paid your full ticket if you don't assume the bank transfer fees. So if you can pay with credit card, please do so. Although sometimes from United States, there are some issues, but again, we are here to help you. All right, so let's see the form, right? Quickly, very quickly. We have also information on safety, health. Please read it, our right of admission and code of conduct here. And of course, the credits of our amazing team, people that made Aretuza happen in November. And we are very thankful for they creating the magic and they wanting to continue making magic for all of you. Thank you very much. Again, I love you. And all right, the form. So you have here the Google form, you put your email, you have to accept some legal things because it's what it needs to be done. I cannot, well, I don't know how to show it now. Well, maybe then.
I think there is a preview.
It's fine.
Yeah, but
Let's use
you're going to see it now.
minutes to just Let me change.
Actually, we have one more question that maybe we can answer now.
Sure.
Characters from episode 0 are going to be playable in next episodes. Yeah.
Yes, at least for the whole first saga. So nothing else? Because I'm gonna close the stream so I can send you the
because
sign up form.
it's your time to make any questions.
No? No more questions?
Let's give them a minute.
All right. If not, we are gonna close again with the amazing video we created for the occasion to celebrate that this is an official The Witcher Larp, thanks to the partnership we signed with CD PROJEKT RED. This is just the first adventure we are going to bring you in the Witcher world, so please stay tuned for more. So if there are no more questions, we can say goodbye.
Yes. There's one last question.
If I play a character in International 0 and later want to play on a Spanish version, can I use the same character? No.
Sadly, no. One character is for one timeline. You cannot, if we have 2 international runs, you cannot swap between timelines with the same character. You can play both timelines, but with different characters.
And also happens with if you want to change into the Spanish version, it's exactly. And also there is another question that just arrived. Are there going to be announced more LARPs in the future?
Yes, of course. Stay tuned for more Witcher adventures from Ephemeral. And now I'm going to close this because we need to release the sign-up form. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you again, everyone that made this possible. This is a dream come true. Bye.